Jim. So October 16th.
13 days away. It's coming fast.
It is. It is.
A few months ago since we met the first time on the
Yep.
show, and time has flown by. The summer has gone by just like that.
You had a very great victory in the primary. I thought you outstanding.
Well, we've worked hard. We've had a real grassroots effort from day one. We've had hundreds of volunteers. You know, in the Chelmsford Parade, I think we had close to 100 volunteers out there that day for the 4th of July. And my campaign's all based on grassroots, getting volunteers and making thousands of phone calls a day now.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that we got 89% of the vote on the primary day was quite a tribute to their efforts.
Yeah, that is. I thought maybe, though, I'm sure we got viewers who haven't seen you before. So maybe you can take a minute and kind of introduce yourself and your background and that type of thing and why you're on it.
Okay. Jim Ogonowski. I'm from Dracut. My family's been in Dracut for a little over 100 years, since when my great-grandmother immigrated in 1904. Settled on the family farm there. We have 3 family farms in town. I've been living in Dracut just about my whole life. I went through the University of Lowell, served my country in the Air Force after I went through Air Force ROTC, and I spent 28 years serving my country. The last 20 years I was full-time with the Air National Guard up in New Hampshire, but I was living in Dracut the entire time. Great way to serve. I know I served my country for 28 years, but living in hometown was always wonderful. Deserved part of our freedom. I think one individual can make a difference, even in a big military, and I know I made that difference. I also had the opportunity to travel the world, see a lot of the world, but I got to tell you, there's nothing like coming back home. Always love coming back to Dracut, coming back to the 5th District, coming back to this area. This is where my family's been for a long time, and we're going to stay for a long time. We got a proud military tradition in my family. Since my great-grandmother immigrated in 1904 to my son just completed basic training for Air Force ROTC. He will be the 22nd member of my family to serve in the military.
Wow.
Yeah, we're really proud of that. And we also have the farming tradition. My dad purchased the family farm in Dracut in 1948. That's the second one. And my brother, my late brother, who I lost on September 11th, purchased the third one in the 1990s. My dad's farm, he purchased it when he left the Army Air Corps just so he could work it as a second job, just to put the kids through college, pursue that American dream. That's a little bit about my background, and I'm running for Congress because I firmly believe this election's a referendum on Congress. Congress isn't working for us. We've got a bunch of elected officials in Washington, D.C. who are more interested in playing partisan politics every day than solving America's problems. And I believe that this election is a real referendum on our Congress, who has right now an 11% approval rating. Imagine that, 11%. 1 out of maybe 10 agree with the job that our Congress is doing right now. And there's something fundamentally wrong down in Washington. They don't seem to be interested in solving America's problems. They seem to be more interested in playing games and not solving the issues of the day.
Well, you know, on partisan, I told you I was going to ask you where you differed from your opponent. And one of the areas that I see you differ is on immigration, okay, or illegal immigrants and this kind of thing. I find that to be one of the few nonpartisan type. For some reason, it seems like, you know, Republicans and Democrats disagree on this, but not like the Republicans don't have one position and the Democrats another.
Well, we do have a significant difference on immigration reform, and that's another area where Congress failed us. This past spring, they tried to pass a bill twice, granted amnesty to illegal immigrants, and I think that's fundamentally wrong. We need immigration reform, but immigration reform does not include amnesty for illegal immigrants. We need to secure our border and our ports because it's a national security issue. We also don't know how many are in this country and why they're here. But let's start first with securing our borders. We need to put up a fence. Part of it can be a physical fence, but we also have the ability to put up a technological fence. We've got enough put enough border agents on the job to get the job done. We cannot reward people who have come to this great country illegally by giving them citizenship. My opponent, on the other hand, favors granting amnesty to illegal immigrants, and I think that's fundamentally wrong. They've come here illegally. They've committed a crime. Since they've been here, they're not paying taxes. They're a burden on our society.
No, wait, you say they're not paying taxes because
they're working.
They would have got caught if they were.
That's correct.
Okay.
They're not paying taxes. Many of them are driving on our roads without licenses.
Because they would have got caught if they were trying
exactly.
to... Exactly.
And the list goes on. I was over in a restaurant in Methuen the other day and sat down with a couple of people and asked them what they did for work, and they installed carpets in homes. You know, this one businessman said he's close to losing his business because he's competing with these other companies who install carpets, and all their employees are illegal. So they're not paying taxes on them, they're not paying workman's compensation, they're not paying overtime, and the list goes on and on and on. How can, a businessman can't compete with that.
Right.
And we can't reward those people by coming here illegally, taking jobs away from Americans. We can't give them citizenship. Just like my great-grandmother when she immigrated in 1904. They got to do it the legal way. So they need to go back to their home country and apply just like everybody else who wants to come to our great nation. But, you know, we also have to remain a beacon of hope for those around the world. Follow the immigration laws, and we will welcome immigrants to this great nation. And we've reached out on our family farm in Drake to the Cambodian community who immigrated in the late 70s, early 80s. We let them use about 10 acres of our farm so that they can learn how to farm in New England. It's a great program, great people. Many of them are achieving the American dream, but they did it the right way. They did it legally.
Hey, well, you know, isn't the amnesty program letting the people that did it illegally go in front of the people that are waiting in line legally?
That's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. Oh, I had some of my mother's uncles immigrated in the 70s from Poland. They waited over 10 years to come legally. And that's what we need to do. We need to reward those that do it the right way. Now, it took them 10 years.
Right.
We can streamline the process now. We've got that technology to make things easier through computers and databases, and the technology allows us that ability. But the basic rule is come here legally.
So where are we going wrong now? Not enforcing?
Well, first of all, we got to secure the borders.
Okay.
If you live next to the Merrimack River in the spring and your basement floods, what's the first thing you do? You plug the crack.
That's right.
And then you bail it out. That's the first thing we need to do. It's the same logic. So let's secure the border first and stop those from coming in illegally. When we secure our border, there's going to be some other benefits to it. All the contraband that comes into our country, illegal goods, illegal drugs. When we secure our borders, we're going to get a much better handle on all of that. And we have to do the same thing with our ports. There's also a problem with illegals coming, I understand, in the Southern California area. They're attributing rise in tuberculosis to illegals coming in because they don't get the same medical shots that we get. So we also have a problem there. Big problem with illegal immigration. We need real reform. Congress failed us once again this past spring by not giving us immigration reform, and that's a national security issue.